afternoon. This is the Thursday, February 16th, 2017 meeting of the Athens City Planning Commission. All members are present. Quorum has been established. There is no one to speak before the Planning Commission in the live audience today. Disposition of minutes. Are there any questions, additions, concerns? I'll make a motion then to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Opportunity for citizens to speak. Again, there are no members in the live audience to address the commission. Announcements and other business.
I do have an announcement. I just learned from the Law Director review this morning that Ohio University has also come forward to City Council, and as they did in committee on Monday, requesting the vacation of a section of Moore Avenue in order for their Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine new build. According to code, that does have to come to the Planning Commission. So that will be presented here at a future date.
Thank you. Anything else? The next meeting would be of the Planning Commission will be March 2nd, 2017.
On note of that, the mayor is on leave that week, so we're trying to schedule this next Ohio University engagement. And then I myself may not be able to attend. I'm going to attempt to, but due to familial issues.
Did you want to... Are you expecting anything from your end, Mr. Logue, or do you know if Mr. Suroy would be presenting?
Not that I'm aware of. There may be a Title 41 coming down the pike, but not. It won't be prepared for the next meeting. That's for sure.
Do we want to push the meeting off then?
Yes.
If we only have 3 members here.
Yes.
I think we can. I mean, the other one could possibly be Horvath coming back again with the cell tower, or
possibly, but we can. Because of that requirement for 14 days public notice, we're not. They can't even
I would
meet
prefer
that
that
today.
the whole commission.
I would as well. I'd suggest that we push the meeting to the following.
So that'd be March 16th, Patty.
Is that cool?
Okay.
Well, why don't we just have it on the regular meeting?
Okay.
That is our regular.
Oh, okay. Good.
So, okay.
So
I'm still dealing with February. Sorry.
So then our next meeting would be March 16th, 2017.
Good.
With our business concluded, the Athens City Planning Commission meeting is adjourned.
So who was president today?
Cases today, case number 17-02, Title 21 lot split at 2131 East State Street, Polzer Health Systems. And Mr. Suroy is not here today.
Correct.
And Paul, can you go ahead and just give
Yes.
a brief introduction to that case, please?
Certainly. This is an application for it's a lot split for 2131 East State Street. The applicants did do a communication to the Planning Commission last month. Lot split consists of 2 parcels. Parcel 1, which will consist of 3.791 acres, meets all of the lot split requirements, and then parcel 2, which is a 2.051 acres, would need a variance from the width to depth ratio of Title 21 of Athens City Code. Parcels have all the required road frontage, and the splits are not creating any flag or landlocked parcels. The lot splits are providing 275 feet of road frontage for the just under 4-acre parcel, and 125 feet of road frontage for the just over 2-acre parcel. So the applicant is asking for a variance, or for the Planning Commission to recommend a variance for the width to depth ratio to Athens City Council. We did have a city review. Our Code Enforcement Director, Rick Sorois, did not have any issues except the denial under the width depth ratio. As planner, I had no additional comments either. The portions of this piece of real estate are in the floodplain. Also, other portions are in the floodway. However, there is a developable site that is out of the floodway and out of the floodplain through a letter of map removal that was approved by FEMA a few years ago. There was a considerable amount of earthwork that was done at that location to get the Holzer Clinic area, the new Don Wood car dealership, and a few other locations on that site elevated out of the floodplain. So there is a developable site that would be good to go from a flood perspective. And our Public Works Director, Andy Stone, said that there are no issues with utilities. It's an accessible site. There's utilities conveniently located to the site, so no risks there, no concerns from his perspective.
So Holzer's asking again for us to make a recommendation to council to accept the current width to depth ratio. Would that be correct?
Yes, to make a recommendation that council approve this lot split with a variance.
Okay. Are there any questions or concerns from the council or commission?
Paul, looking at the floodplain, you say the buildable, is it, help me out here, would it going back to where it says the 100-year floodplain, floodway?
Do you have this map?
I was looking at this one.
Okay, let me see which one that is.
634.
It's the survey.
Okay. Your question.
So is the developable portion that goes back to where the designation is between the floodplain and the floodway, or is it even further?
The developable portion, the elevated area is this hatched line.
Okay.
You can see there's even surveyor's points,
Okay.
stakes right there. And with regard to the width to depth ratio, the developable area meets the width to depth.
Interesting.
In fact, we even had a discussion about that, but we determined that we needed to treat the lot as a whole.
I know.
Again, their intention was to make plans with the emergency medical services as far as ambulances.
I believe that's what they conveyed when they presented to the Planning Commission, but I have not heard anything since then.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that we had some discussion, at least in my mind, I had some discussion about adding that as a condition for this division in the recommendation is being recommended to City Council with the variance for the purpose of citing an EMS station there. Now, I didn't know what that means in a ground legal sense. I mean, when we asked the gentleman that presented last time, he stated the only reason that they're even requesting this is on behalf of the EMS.
Right. I remember that as well. So in looking at the map, we're looking at, or they're looking at, someone's looking at 0.784 acres that is above the floodplain. And it's written on the map. It says 0.784 acres above base flood elevation.
Right, so that's your developable
Oh,
area.
okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see that. I was just wondering if they're going to use this for parking.
Yes. Can they use any other portion of the property?
For parking?
Like Nancy's asking, parking.
They could use potentially that area that's between the floodway and the hash mark. However, it's really if you look at a contour map there, there's this slope. It cuts off really dramatically, and there's a steep slope there. Not easily, I guess, Nancy, would be the best way to describe
Oh, the one that's here is what they did, that sort of lump thing that goes along.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
And their
inclined to.
their intention was to sell the that piece of property to EMS or lease.
I don't recall asking that question, but they have indeed retained property for future development separate from this. But because it is a critical service provider, I guess I could make a motion. But I don't know how the commission feels about whether or not assigning the use to the property with the division.
I don't think.
I'll be honest, like, given that what's developable here meets all the code requirements, I don't personally feel like there's a need to assign a specific use to the parcel. I feel like, given that so much of the property is just going to be undevelopable from a flood, like more than half of it's in the floodway, so people aren't going to be able to do that. So I almost feel like we have to look at it as less as like the property as a whole as to what's true of the property that's developable, and if it meets all the other requirements to be a buildable lot. I just wonder if, like, legally we would get into some
Yeah, I don't know.
some issues if we try to mandate a particular use of the lot.
You also have the area that's been elevated through fill. That area has a manufacturing zoning designation to it. The floodway areas are actually zoned open space, and so the floodway area, there's just because of the use restrictions on open space, there's very little that somebody could do there. You could put access to the river perhaps, or some sort of passive recreation use. Things like that are permitted in open space, but again, those aren't necessarily the best locations for that type of a use anyway. But you can't really develop in the open space zone because of that.
Well, now that you brought up zone, would there be a variance needed for the use in the manufacturing?
I don't think so. The manufacturing language is very open, with the exception that residential is prohibited in a manufacturing zone. So you can do anything that you allow in a B zone is allowed in the M zone.
Okay.
There might be a little bit of restrictions here and there with distance, but emergency services are generally assumed to be exempt because they are an action of police powers, health, safety, and welfare.
So just to throw this out there, because, I mean, this map, as I'm looking at it, and I think I'm looking at it correctly, and if not, someone please help me out here, is we're looking at along the service road, it's 125 feet, to the contour line of the flood base elevation, it's 272 feet. So that's the buildable space.
Correct.
Developable space. And as I look at it too, I mean, since it fronts the river, I don't know if EMS has an inflatable that they use for emergency responding, I don't know. I don't have any issues with this, quite honestly. I don't.
No. I hate to start stipulating.
Nancy?
I agree with, and I was starting to say it too, I'm inclined not to stipulate, as long as there's no residential.
Would somebody like to make a motion then?
I so move.
Second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's a unanimous vote. Thank you. Moving on to the communications, an update on the application for special use permit, Title 43 Wireless Telecommunications Facility, proposed location at 286 West Union Street, Athens County Fairgrounds. Mr. Loeb?
I believe you have a copy of the most recent communication between Code Director Sorois and Randy Hartmeyer for Horvath Communications. It's a letter dated February 3rd, 2017. Horvath has submitted an application to the city. Mr. Sorois has reviewed it and provided some feedback based on some things, some requirements in our code that were not identified and explained in their application. I had a brief conversation with Mr. Hartmeyer this morning. He is aware of the requirements that they did not provide in their application, and they are working to get that to Mr. Sorois. The only other, I think, update for today is that there will be the required balloon test, weather permitting, that will be tomorrow and Saturday at the location. Mr. Hartmeyer did say that they would be somebody, either he and some of his representatives would be in Athens tomorrow to document the balloon test. As you recall, we had back in December or early January, we identified sites where we wanted photographs taken. So they'll be documenting that tomorrow as well. I don't have anything else.
And then at this point, obviously, a public hearing would not be in order until the application is completed. and-
Correct, right,
Okay.
right.
Any questions?
Just, no, just a comment, again, to kind of reiterate what the city planner was saying, is that, I mean, people will see this balloon floating over the fairgrounds at about 160 feet, 150 foot, so it'll be up there between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Friday, and then again on Saturday. And if the weather's bad, then it could happen at a later date, but it's worth everyone knowing, so they don't think that there's some odd UFO floating around up there.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
There's enough of that around already.
Let's see.
The other
Oh, sorry.
thing is just that they are indeed going to be requesting relief, for a variance related to this, at least to the setback. And I don't know if there were more than or anything other than that or not. So side setback.
So will the
Tuesday.
people who are, will be affected, will they be notified?
They have to
specifically?
notify
The adjacent property owners, all the dead people next
within
door?
1,500 feet of the property line.
Right.
I'm just going on.
Okay, so they have to notify them by certified?
So prior to the public hearing, notice must be placed in a public newspaper 14 calendar days prior to the meeting. Notice shall contain nearby landowners' names and addresses where the property is located within 1,500 feet of the property line which the tower is notified. Okay.
Okay.
Any other comments or
Pay
questions?
attention.
You say that out loud.
I
Thank you,
just
Mr.
hope the
Logue.
people